Hey, mamas. It's your girl, Carrie, and welcome back to another episode of Mom Life, Career Life. If you're anything like me, and I know you are, you've been dreaming about this summer vacation trip that you've planned since the weather was cold and your to do list was 17 miles long. You're ready for sand in your toes, or like us, this year we're taking a big trip to Ireland for 2 weeks. There won't be sand, just hoping for a little more sun than rain. And like you, we dream about our kids actually getting along for more than 5 minutes, having a full break from thinking about work. But here's the thing, even the most well planned trip can get totally derailed if your mindset isn't in the right place. One meltdown, one overpacked day, or one missed connection can literally turn your vacation mode into major chaos. And that's why I'm throwing back to one of my most downloaded episodes of Mom Life Career Life, where I share 11 real life mom tested tips to help you actually enjoy your family vacation without losing your sanity. And forewarning, I was coming off of being really sick when I originally recorded this episode, so my voice is a little nasally. So, whether you're hopping on a plane to Europe like us, or a road trip into a beach, or maybe just a staycation home with the kids, this episode will help you plan ahead without overpacking your schedule, set expectations and those boundaries for not only work, but screen time, and not just your kids, yours too. Help you avoid travel meltdowns and budget blowouts. Be fully present in the moment so that you can create magical memories that don't involve stress or guilt. Plus, I'm adding in a few bonus tips right here to give you even more support as you prep for your trip. And speaking about being fully present, if setting boundaries with work or distractions like your phone is a thing for you, make sure you grab my Boundaries Made Simple and my Tech Timeout Guide. They're both in the show notes. They're packed with real life scripts, mindset shifts, and hacks to protect your peace and really just enjoy your time off without the guilt. You deserve this break. This isn't just a trip, it's your reset, a chance to be fully present with your people and with yourself. So grab those guides and let's jump right into this throwback. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first, because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life.
The older I get, the more I just love summer. I guess I loved it as a kid, but then after college and having to work in the summer and then not having a lot of vacation days, I didn't love trekking into the city in the heat, having to wait for the bus in the sun, and then having to stand all the way home because my bus stop was the last pickup in the city. But as the years have gone by and the kids are getting older, I just love summer and I love the opportunities to really just do more as a family. The days seem longer because we have so much more sunlight. So even after work, I'm motivated to get out and go do stuff. But obviously, my favorite part of summer are the vacations. The time we get to just disconnect from work and just really be together, go on adventures, have new experiences, and make some really awesome memories. So today, I wanted to share my practical tips on how to make your vacation as stress-free as possible. So let's jump right in. Number 1, plan ahead, but stay flexible. I am all about planning. You really can't take a vacation without planning, at least a little bit. You have to decide on where you're going, where you're going to stay, what you need to bring. And in order to decide what you need to bring, you really have to have an idea of what your plans are when you're on vacation. If you're going to the beach, you know you'll need bathing suits, towels, sunscreens. Maybe the place you're going to has chairs and umbrellas, but if they don't, maybe you need to bring that too. Or maybe you're going camping and that involves a lot of supplies and planning for all the different weather elements that might happen. If you're going to a touristy place, then you need to do a little extra planning. I've shared we're going to Greece this year. And in Greece, we're island hopping, which, as excited as I am to see so many different places, the thought of having to unpack, repack, trek suitcases around with 3 kids seems way intimidating and not quite relaxing. But if you're going on a vacation where you want to take little adventures every day, don't overbook yourself either. Have a general plan, but don't overschedule. Leave room for spontaneous adventures and absolutely leave room for relaxation. Like If you're heading to the beach, plan for a couple of specific outings, like maybe a boat trip or snorkeling, but then leave the afternoons open for fun things like building sandcastles or just lounging around by the water. For Greece, we have certain days planned out, but we are definitely leaving room to just veg out on the beach, or if we see something cool that we want to do while we're there, we have room in our schedule to be spontaneous. And honestly, we've had some of our best times when we did something spontaneous, like visiting the cenotes in Mexico. I shared it on another episode where I have a little bit of a fear of heights and a little bit of a fear of deep water. And I'm usually not the one to be that adventurous, but last year was a big year for me to push through my fears. And we went to visit the cenotes, and my family strongly encouraged me to jump off a cliff and took an awesome video of my kids cheering me on, and I did it. If you're in my Facebook group, maybe I'll post that video this week so you can all see it. But being spontaneous can be lots of fun. And you also want to leave room to be flexible, to relax, to take it easy, especially if you have little ones. Why put that pressure on yourself or your kids? Vacations are meant to help you unwind, not wind you up. So don't overbook yourself. Number 2, create a vacation budget. Have a budget in mind of how much you want to spend. The travel and the lodging is only part of the expense, unless you're staying in an all-inclusive, which are my favorites because I love just going into a vacation and knowing what I spent already. But if you're not, you have to have a rough idea of how much you're willing to spend so you can budget accordingly, because expenses can really add up pretty quickly. Our plan for Greece is to try and eat breakfast at our Airbnb, pack our own lunches, and then go out for dinner. Ideally, I would like to eat dinner at our Airbnbs a couple of nights to cut down on costs, but we really love to eat out, so we're going to see how that goes. But activities can also add up. So maybe look into activities and costs before you go and limit the options to things that are within your budget. You could also look up discounts, coupon codes, see if your company offers discounts, and definitely check out Groupon because that could be a lifesaver. If you're going to a different country, then you'll also need to get some of their currency in advance. We usually start watching the exchange rates about a month out to see when they go down so we can get the most bang for our buck. You can also order the currency from your local bank. We usually call ahead to order the currency because not all banks have it on hand. So make sure you call ahead of time, and also look into your credit card to see what exchange rates they offer and if there's any additional fees to use your credit card outside of the country, because that could also be a game changer. And also, side note, call your credit card company before you go on vacation and let them know you're traveling and you might be using your credit card outside of the country so they don't shut you off the first time you go to use it when they see a crazy charge from another country, because that has happened to us too. Number 3, involve your kids in the planning. Kids really are more excited and more cooperative when they actually have a say in what they're going to do. You can research things to do at your destination and then have a fun family meeting to go over the options with the kids. And this is where you could really get the budgeting in play, because you pick the options that are within your budget and let the kids pick. And you can either let each kid pick one item or pick them as a family. We let our kids pick our destination one year. We were torn between going to Dominican Republic or Mexico, and we narrowed it down to one resort at each place and found videos of them. And then we put the videos on the TV and the kids watched and we voted as a family. It was actually unanimously Mexico. And we had an amazing time and actually went back to the same resort again and had an even better time the second time. And while we were there, we let the kids pick the excursion we went on. The first year they picked swimming with dolphins. And then the second year was when they picked the cenotes. And both were really amazing experiences. So I highly recommend getting your kids involved. Number 4, pack smart and pack light. It's really hard not to overpack, especially with kids, but this is where planning really comes into play. If you don't know where to start, head on over to Pinterest and search up vacation packing lists. You can even get specific. You can search up beach vacation packing lists, camping packing lists. I searched up Greece packing list. Searching up a packing list is a great place to start because other people have thought of most things, and then you can just tweak it for your specific needs. And you'll need different things for different destinations, so highly recommend Pinterest. When the kids were little, we only did lake vacations. I was way too nervous to bring them to the beach. We found this little lake beach in the Poconos that had a huge area that was shallow water. But with that vacation, we had to pack everything down to the sheets, pillows, blankets, foods. Now we do a week at the beach and it's a lot less packing, especially since we don't have to pack all the extra stuff you need for littles, like the pack and play, the high chair, the play mats. But also consider if the place you're staying has a washing machine. If it does, then consider that when you're packing outfits. We're going to Greece for 12 days and I'm not packing 12 outfits per kid. We'll need like 6 suitcases if I did that. So we're trying to really go as light as possible. So the plan is to mix match outfits and do plenty of laundry. We made sure that every Airbnb that we're staying at has a washing machine for that purpose. I also purchased packing cubes a couple years back, which I highly recommend for every parent. I'll link them in the show notes. Each kid has their own, and they have a cube for day clothes, a cube for bathing suits, and a cube for garments and pajamas. And it makes unpacking so simple because you literally just take the cube out and put it in a drawer. Or if the place you're staying doesn't have a lot of drawers, you could just stack them neatly in the corner. They have been a serious game changer for not only packing, but for keeping our hotel rooms neat and organized because a family of 5 in a small place can get messy and crowded real fast. Number 5, set boundaries with work. To really fully enjoy your vacation and to relax, you need to disconnect from work. You deserve this break, you earned it, and completely detaching really does wonders for your mental health. Trust me. Being off for a week can be tough, but there are ways to plan around it. I just dedicated an entire episode to this one topic, so check it out. It's episode 106. But some quick tips is to communicate with your manager, let them know that you're going to be off the grid while you're out. Make sure you have someone covering for you and that all stakeholders at work know who to reach out to in your absence. If you have clients, let them know who's covering you. Put your out of office on. Let people know that are emailing you who to reach out to in your absence, and just enjoy. Number 6, have a plan for the boring moments. Not all of your vacation is going to be fun. The travel time, the waiting in line time, you need a plan to keep the kids entertained during these times. And technology is an easy go-to, but I also don't want my kids to be on their devices on vacation all the time. And I also don't want them bringing it out when we go on excursions. So for long car rides, we usually watch movies or we listen to road trip trivia podcasts, which is great for families. Highly recommend it. There are so many topics that are great for all ages. We also love doing 21 questions. That's a big one we play while waiting for a table at a restaurant or waiting for our food to come because restaurants are a absolute no phone zone for us, even us parents. I Spy is another one that's great for kids. I still play with Michael a lot because he doesn't have a cell phone yet to entertain him while we're out together. And you could do I Spy for different things. You could say, I spy something that's a specific color, that's a specific shape, that starts with a specific letter. You can get very creative, but there are tons of different games out there that you can play with your kids. Again, I stress it all the time. Check out Pinterest because another mom has been there, done that, and wrote something about it. So it is a goldmine for busy moms. Number 7, capture the moments. I'm sure this is a no-brainer, but take plenty of pictures and videos, but don't forget to be in them too. I'm always the one to take the pictures and videos, and I have to really be mindful to get in them too. If you're taking a beach vacation, there's this really cute picture that I've been seeing over and over again on my Instagram where you dig a hole in the shape of a heart, and it's probably like 8 to 10 inches deep and maybe the same width. And then you put your cell phone in it at the bottom and set a timer and then have all your family stand around the heart and look in the hole. And it takes the picture, and then the picture is a heart shape with all of you looking down with a beautiful sky in the background. I don't know if I explained that very well, but you could look it up. That's one of my bucket list items to do this year. But there are so many fun and creative ways to take family pictures on vacation. If you're going to a resort, they probably have a photographer if you have the budget for it, but your cell phone is perfectly fine too. I also highly recommend making photo books after a good vacation. We've only done it for a few vacations, and I really wish we took the time to do it every year. We'll definitely be doing one after Greece. I'm going to make a separate album on my phone for Greece photo album pictures, and this is aside from my just regular Greece album. And all of my favorites will go straight into that album, so it'll make it a lot easier to make the album when I get home. You can even make a game out of taking pictures, and this can also help with those boring moments. Create a fun photo challenge for the kids. Maybe who can find the funniest sign or the prettiest flower or whatever other item you could think of. This keeps them engaged and creates a nice little memory. Number 8, prioritize rest and relaxation. You don't want your vacation to be go, go, go. Your vacation needs to be a time for you to reset and decompress. So make sure you're leaving time to take breaks, for your kids to nap if they are still at that age. And even if they're older, spending a day in the sun can be really draining. They're going to need to relax a bit before you drag them out to dinner or a nighttime activity. And you don't want to deal with cranky kids. The more time you're giving yourself to relax and them to relax, the happier you all will be. And if you have a day full of activities, maybe plan a quiet night inside, watch a movie, order room service, or if you have a kitchen, that's the perfect night to eat inside instead of dragging them out again. Number 9, embrace the unexpected. And I cannot stress this enough, especially for my perfectionist mamas that have this image of the perfect vacation in their head. I'm telling you now, nothing ever goes as planned. And that's okay. The weather may not cooperate, your kids may not cooperate, you may miss a train, a bus, a plane, a ferry. Life happens. And our knee jerk reaction is to get upset, and you can easily let it ruin your entire day. But I truly believe everything happens for a reason. And I'm a woman of faith, so I always know God's hands are always at play. So when a setback happens, it's okay to have a pity party and to be disappointed for a few minutes, but that's it. Take a step back from a situation, regroup, take a deep breath, shake it off, and just roll with the changes. Roll with the unexpected. Something really beautiful can come out of it. Some of our best memories come from these unplanned moments. And it's a really great learning opportunity for your kids too. They are watching you and your reactions, so really be mindful. Try not to over dramatize things. Try not to look too disappointed in front of them. And if something beautiful does come out of it, make sure you take a moment and reflect on that with your kids. And I will say, if it's your kids that are not cooperating, maybe they're fighting or one decides to throw a temper tantrum, it's okay to coddle them on vacation or incentivize better behavior. Do what you have to do to make them happy and not let it affect your entire day. Don't let vacation be the time that you decide to be that super disciplinarian. I've seen a lot of parents do that. Leave that for home. And sometimes maybe your kids just need a little space. Maybe you or your partner stays home with one kid for a little bit and lets them cool off and you meet up a little later with them. Or maybe you split up and do different activities. It can be really overwhelming for some kids. And let's face it, for some parents, to be in a small space with each other for a long period of time. When we go to the lake, we are sharing one small hotel room with all of us. It's literally 2 and 2 beds, one kid on a cot, very little space to walk around, very little space to take a breather. And when we're at the beach, it's a little better because there's at least a bedroom and a living room area, but it's still pretty tight. And when they're bigger, especially hormonal teenagers, they really need their space. So as much as you want to all be together, it's okay to take those breaks. And it's also nice to get the one-on-one time with the kids. So they'll really appreciate it and it might actually work out better. Number 10, have a plan for emergencies and the what ifs. Russ is pretty good about thinking about the what ifs. I'm more of the nothing's going to go wrong type of person, but it's always good to have a safety plan in place and a plan for emergencies. If you're going away to another country, especially where they don't speak English, come up with a plan beforehand on what your kids should do if you do get separated. Tell them where to go, maybe have a central meeting place if you're going to a place like an amusement park or a museum, and agree if you get separated that this is the place you'll all go to and do not move from that spot until you're all together. And you could show them who the safe people are to talk to. Rule of thumb is obviously a police officer or a security guard if you see one. But if not, a mom with kids is their best go-to. I can't imagine a lost kid going up to a mom and that mom not wanting to help. If your kids aren't of the age where they have cell phones or smartwatches, you can also get smart tags to put on their clothing or in their shoes. So if, God forbid, you do get separated, you can locate them on your phone. So that's just a safety tip. It's also important to understand what your health insurance and your coverage is outside of your state or your country. This is not something most people think about, but accidents do happen. Kids get sick and they may need to go to a doctor or get medical attention, or you may too. Kaylee's first trip to Ireland as an infant, she ended up getting really sick and we had to take her to the ER. I had zero clue how insurance worked in another country. It was also so long ago that I don't even remember how we handled it, but it's something we are looking into now for Greece because my kids are accident prone, especially on vacation, so we want to make sure we're prepared. And lastly, number 11, understand your cell phone coverage. If you're traveling outside of your state or outside of your country, understand what your cell phone plan covers and what will be extra charges. Some countries, you may have to get a SIM card for that country to use your cell phone, and some plans allow you to change your coverage or pay a little extra to get international coverage while you're away. Because the last thing you want to deal with is to come home with a crazy cell phone bill because you didn't have the right coverage in place.
Okay, present and healthier me is popping back in to add a few more tips that I know will find helpful this vacation season. Because let's be real, the more tools we have to keep vacation peaceful, the better. So, number 12, be present in the moment. Put down those phones, put down the book, look up. Notice the way your child giggles when the waves crash over their feet, or how their eyes light up playing a silly game, or seeing that monument that they've never seen before. These are the moments that matter. Don't miss them because you're trying to capture them or because you're too busy looking at other people's vacations on your cell phone. Number 13, pack a peace kit just for you. Yes, you. I know I mentioned this above, but it's worth saying again. Pack your own essentials, earbuds, chocolate, your favorite tea, your journal, calming essential oils, or create that great playlist. If the day isn't going as planned and you need that reset to get your mindset straight, it's okay to take a break to ground yourself. Same for your partner. Recognize that you both might need a few minutes to just breathe alone. It could really change the whole trip. Your peace matters just as much as everyone else's fun. And number 14, set the tone before you even leave. Start the trip with a little family meeting, and it doesn't have to be anything formal. In fact, it shouldn't be formal. It should be fun. Just get everyone together to talk about the trip. Let them know anything you need from them in order for them to get ready for the trip. Like my girls, it's always been really painful when it comes to packing. So I gave them a few weeks notice of what they need for Ireland, which is a little hard to pack for because you can literally have all 4 seasons in one day. Plus, we're going to a wedding, so it's outfits for all those festivities. So they do need to buy a few things in order to be ready. So I gave them the computer and said, put a couple of things in the cart, and I went through it and we purchased those things. Hopefully they're coming in soon so they could try them on, and fingers crossed that they actually fit. Then you're going to kind of talk about your expectations for the trip. Is it about more rest? Is it about adventure? And especially talk about screen time and your expectations about being more present, being flexible, being kind to each other, and let everyone talk about what they're excited about. Getting a line from the start changes everything. And for us, we're traveling around with my cousins and their family, and there are 19 of us staying in one Airbnb with only 3 bathrooms. So we're discussing what that's going to look like. That daily showers we are used to might not happen. It's going to be way harder on me than them. So anything that your kids need to be aware of that might throw off what they're used to will help them mentally prepare. So use this opportunity to talk about all of it and really plan for it. Well, I hope you found this episode helpful. Your family vacation time is so precious. It's time for you to bond as a family, to explore, to share new experiences together. And it's time really for you to relax away from the daily grind. And by planning ahead and staying flexible and focusing on making those memories, you can really create a wonderful experience for everyone. Wishing you all a vacation or staycation full of laughter, love, and lasting memories. Safe travels. And I'd love to hear where you're going on vacation or what you're doing with your time off this summer. So head on over to our Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms, and tell us all about it. And if you don't already follow the show, take a second and click that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wave Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.